Alright guys, I did my presentation on color perception. So let's go ahead and get started. So in this presentation, we're going to be looking at why we perceive color the way that we perceive it. We're going to learn all about some rods and cones, and then we are going to look at why human rods and cones are different than a mantis shrimp. And then we're also going to talk about some interesting color facts. So right here I just have a picture of a woman, and these are some colors that she is perceiving. Alrighty, so introduction to color. So color is a very important part of our perception. When we're developing, our minds are developing, we learn all about color. It's a very important part of our learning processes, and it is very important in our young education. We learn at a young age that red is red and yellow is yellow, and that sticks with us for the rest of our lives. We know certain objects are certain colors. For example, a banana is yellow. We know for our whole entire lives that a banana is yellow. We learn at a very young age. We also learn all of the colors of the rainbow at a very young age as well. So from that, we continue to go throughout life knowing exactly what color is what because of this education that we have when we're younger about color. Why do we see color? So we see color as color, but what really are we seeing? We think when we see green leaf, that leaf is green because it's green. But what actually is happening is light is being reflected, and we see that reflected light. So all of this white light coming in is going to be absorbed into this leaf, but the green light is going to bounce off of the leaf, and that is why we see green on this leaf. So as you can see right here, I put its light being reflected. We perceive that reflected light as red or orange or blue or pink, etc. There's so much more than just reflected light. For example, color can help us understand other people's emotions. If someone has a red face, they could be angry. So color is so much more than just light being reflected. What exactly is going on when we see color? We know that light is being reflected, but how? So we're able to see colors because we have these things in our eyeballs that are called rods and cones. So as you can see right here, we have our rod cells and our cone cells. Now our rod cells detect levels of black and white light. So we have white, and then in this spectrum, we have like gray in the middle. We can get like a light gray, a dark gray, and then we have black. And then our cones detect color. So as humans, we have 3 different cones. We have blue, red, and green. With these 3 cones, we can mix these colors, obviously, create different colors. So with red and blue, we could get purple. You know, it goes on and on. And then these cones allow us to see the visual wavelength of light. So if you go on the electromagnetic spectrum and look at visual light, we are able to see that visual light because of our rods and our cones. So color in other organisms. So obviously we have our 3 cones that allow us to see this spectrum of color. But what about other organisms? Dogs only have 2 cones. They have blue and yellow. They have rods still, so they can see black and white wavelengths, but they only have blue and yellow cones. So this is their visual spectrum. This is their spectrum of color that they are able to perceive. Now, there is an animal that we will never see the colors that they see. The mantis shrimp. The mantis shrimp has 16 cones. So here we are with the mantis shrimp. As you can see, this is our visual wavelength. These are our cones. Red, green, and blue. If you look over here, 5 times the amount of color receptors, over 5 times. And this over here is the visual wavelength of a mantis shrimp. So as you can see, 16 cones. This is what their visual spectrum looks like. Imagine what it would look like to perceive color as a mantis shrimp. Now, not only can they see all of these colors, they can see UV light and polarized light. This is highly fascinating. Imagine if we were able to see UV and polarized light. Our visual spectrum would be completely different. We would perceive everything around us completely different. This is a mantis shrimp. And then here are some interesting color facts. You can see over 8 decillion varieties of colors. The first color palette was made using soil, animal fat, charcoal, and chalk. We can see over 100 levels of light, dark, and blue is one of the rarest colors in nature. So next time you're looking at some color, just remember why you were perceiving that color. Color is everywhere. It is a very important part of our lives.